before you pick it up for yourself. And it's not ideal to already know which hero you have to ban, and you only have one ban available in the next phase.
Yeah, definitely true. I mean, has MOUZ actually played much Wind Ranger? Okay, apparently they've played it 3 times. Only won 1 game as well. Like, damn, they seem to have so many negative win rates actually on a lot of these heroes, which is kind of crazy. But they're not going to go for it. Instead, they will go for the Squirrel. And yeah, most likely with that final ban, as you're mentioning, yeah, I see they're probably just going to chuck that on the Wind Ranger for sure.
We'll see. You do have first pick in the second phase on MOUZ, so you could go for something like that, or a hero that's going to be countering her, somebody who buys a blade mail naturally, wouldn't be too bad. You know, there are options always in the draft. It just comes down to where they want to take it. Coming back to MOUZ and their results, I mean, they've been playing some top-tier tournaments. Not gonna lie, playing versus some top-tier teams is not easy, especially when you're the underdog. Obviously, your results are gonna be looking bad. So I don't think stats are a real representation of this team's strengths. If not, they might just be a portfolio that shows how good they are, considering they made it to play versus the top teams in the world.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I mean, I feel like, not to be mean or anything, but it might be a little bit of time before Passion UA could potentially be up in that situation to be contending against those big players.
That is so mean.
It is very mean to say, but you know, sometimes you just got to be a little bit realistic. But yeah, they do ban out that Wind Ranger, and it's actually going to be Alina as the second pick here for MOUZ.
Yep, that is also a good deny pick. But considering that they ban out the Wind Ranger, it's quite nice. You're gonna have to find good ways to protect this Lina. Maybe something like a Kunkka. I'm not familiar if they play something like that. But yeah, I went onto MOUZ's Wikipedia page and I'm looking at their losses. Right, Waska, 1W, OG, Aviolus, Dandelions, Team T. Right, that is pretty huge. And then you have PSG Quest. They beat Nouns, right? Lost to Liquid, lost to Extreme Gaming, lost to Entity or Cloud9, right? Those are some big names. Them losing means absolutely nothing. There will be a Centaur Mirana though, and this is such a good drafting approach from Passion UA. Why? Because Mirana can be both 4 and 1. You don't know, and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. It lanes well with the Centaur. It lanes well with the Omninate. It's just a perfect way to open up your draft and keep things hidden for that 18 pick to just surprise MOUZ even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've seen the Mirana carry played actually a couple of times already here in the CCT, and I think it's actually won both times, at least the games that I've done it. And MOUZ, they go in for the Marcy. Ooh, all right.
Stubborn it seems.
It is. So they're going to try and see if they can get, you know, their 7th time playing this hero. Can they finally get a win on it here, Harry? I mean, it's a very interesting position to put themselves in for sure.
It's still a good hero to go with Lina, right? And you have 2 very strong side lanes. If you look at MOUZ, with some potential for Lina to go to the mid lane, but pretty much nobody plays it there at the moment. I don't know if somebody has flexed this hero at all, but it is always a possibility. You never know when somebody's gonna get an idea. Supreme back in the day played a decent amount of Lina.
Yeah, it could really swap around. We'll have to see where they're going to end up doing it. Obviously, MOUZ do have the advantage of having the overall final pick here of the draft, so maybe they might leave it as that slight bit of flex just to see what their mid lane matchup's going to be. But Passion UA looking for their 4th pick. I imagine it's probably going to be their mid laner themselves, right? Considering how they probably want to leave this Mirana as the flex for the position 4 or carry, you know, to give themselves those extra few options. But already down to just 25 seconds of reserve time, so not really leaving themselves a lot of wiggle room.
Not really. Could you go for something like a Puck? Then ban the tanky mid laners like a Dragonite and stuff. I wouldn't hate that. Or Passion UA, but they get themselves a Morphling, revealing that this Mirana is most likely going to be a support. We have seen mid Miranas though. Even from Passion UA, yesterday versus Hydra, the mid Mirana crushed it, right? So not impossible for them to run it there. Niche, he was beyond godlike, didn't die a single time, crushed the SF in the mid lane. Would be cool if they attempt to do it again.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see where they are eventually going to put this hero. But Passion UA they do decide to take away the puck, they're pretty sure that MOUZ's final pick is going to be for their mid, which does seem quite likely. One thing I will mention is that maybe Passion UA kind of lacking in like solid, reliable stuns. All they really have so far is the Centaur Stomp, which obviously it's a slow one to do, so people can react with BKBs. Very hard to catch people unawares with that one. And then really it's just the Mirana Arrow. So potentially their final pick is going to have to address that option of actually giving them some control, some actual ways of locking people down here.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Could be a problem. That's why I thought something like a puck would be a good way to go. But you know, if it's a mid laner or a 4, which is pretty much what they're lacking, those heroes tend to give you lockdown, right? So it's not going to be that big of a deal. I'm thinking, what would they want? Some burst stun would be nice because Lina hates being bursted down. Something like a Techies wouldn't be too bad. And a lot of Eastern European teams tend to want to pick that hero up.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually MOUZ. They ban out 2 position 5 heroes, so maybe they're thinking that this Omni Knight is going to be the 4 or something like that. It's a pretty interesting way of taking the draft here.
Not necessarily. I think they just think those heroes are going to be a problem in their laning phase. With the Centaur, even they can be played as a 4. I don't necessarily think that Passionate wanted those 2, but they can be a nuisance, especially a Jakiro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jakiro is just extremely potent nowadays. It does make sense just to get rid of him. Oh, we'll see what Passion UA's choice is going to be. Not even deciding to get to the reserve time. Go in for the snap. Okay, cool. So yeah, does seem like it is going to be that mid lane Miranda then carry morph.
Exactly. We'll I like this, right? It's not a techies, but it does provide some burst. It does provide damage. You do make the Centaur very strong in the lane. You can, if you're Lina, make a mistake and die in this lane quite easily. And we have seen some Centaurs go for the extra damage facet, right? Not go for the horsepower, but the double imp. I don't know what it's called. I need to check right now. But either way, it increases the damage of your double edge significantly, and that would be a big deal. Counter-Strike, yeah.
Okay. So what do you think MOUZ is going to go in for? Like, what hero comes to mind for you when you want to have it in this 1v1 matchup against Mirana in the mid?
I wouldn't mind something tanky that can stand his ground, a melee hero to just crush her, because Mirana has a very weird attack animation. Versus some range heroes, you are going to beat them, I think, but melee heroes would crush you. I mean, Dragonite is still in the pool.
Yeah. Why
not? You could go for an Invoker if you want to go for something that builds a vessel, right? Invoker and and let's say a Coddle are a possibility.
Yeah, there's lots of choices that MOUZ could go for here. Actually using, quite a lot of their return at the time that they have available to them. Not going to feel too rushed. Actually, maybe they could even do something crazy like, I don't know, mid-sniper here. Something like that. Doesn't seem like the worst lineup for it.
Versus a Centaur. Centaur is the only problem. There's the Dragonite. Yep. Makes sense. This is a way to make sure that the Mirana doesn't do well in the lane. And I think that's smart. Because Niche yesterday showed just how good he was when given the solid matchup in the mid lane. Dragonite is not that. This Dragonite is winning the mid lane for sure.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a little bit difficult here for Niche to have a good run. But I feel like we've said this many times in a row, like somebody has a favorable matchup, something like that, and still somehow the other person just does a fantastic
job. No, there's no way. There's no way. Like, I'm putting my analyst career on the line here. Like, you are not winning a lane versus a Dragonite unless the supports help you, which Snapfire can do. But to be honest, the rotation of MOUZ supports might even be better. So no, Supreme is winning this mid lane 100%.
And if somehow Supreme ends up losing it, he's going to be receiving quite a lot of angry messages, I imagine, after this game's over. A couple of little pings coming his way from you.
I have never done that in my life.
Never? Are you sure?
No.
Wow. That's very, very respectful of you.
Like, you noob, how dare you lose that mid lane matchup? I'm putting my knowledge and career on the line, relying what you're going to do. And Supreme is going to be going for the Corrosive Dragon. A lot of people nowadays, they just play the Fire Dragon anyways. I think he's just objectively better. But this does give you that advantage of pushing down towers. And Mirana does like to rotate, so I'm not sure she's going to be rotating that much because the Corrosive Dragon, because you can very easily lose map control.
That is very true. Well, we'll see if that, little decision ends up benefiting them or not, or whether it might cost them in the long run. We'll have to wait and see as the game is now underway. Let's jump on in, see how this first game of the day is going to go down. Whether or not we might get any sort of 5v5 level 1 plays going on. Always love to see those. They always seem so sluggy and just messy as hell. Always great fun to watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Both of the teams have some potential to go for it. Morphling is not as weak on level 1 as he used to be. He's still pretty weak, but better than what he was like 4 or 5 years ago. Remember that. He was just a goner. His attribute shift level 1 was a disaster.
It's true. Yeah, it was pretty diabolical, but I mean, especially when you consider the fact that MOUZ has a stun on every single one of their heroes, which is always extremely good when you try to go for these early fights. And MOUZ is actually doing this long wraparound here with the smoke at the south side. If they head up, they might actually bump in towards Yawai, and if they could bring down this Morphling at the start, it's going to be a fantastic way to begin the game. We'll see if he does get caught or not.
He's looking
Smokes are breaking, and yeah, immediately he just
didn't
runs.
see him. He was smoked up for a little bit longer, and that smoke saved his life. So he does manage to survive. Morph is a pretty fast hero. You look at this wave, he looks like he's not going to be able to move super fast, but he has 315 movement speed. Or actually, that is wrong. He has 315 during nighttime. He is very slow. Yeah, I was surprised he was moving that fast, and now it all makes sense.
Yeah, now back to 285. Considerably slower now. But yeah, he is quite fortunate not to fall prey to that gank. A very short pause there from Supreme, apparently. Maybe he misclicked, who knows? But yeah, Force looking like he's actually just going to try and body block up these creeps, get the pressure underneath the tower. Actually just going to take out the range creep now. Why not?
Yep. So did they block those creeps enough? Well, not, because Flacco did the same thing. Nicely done. Yeah, we're gonna be looking at this mid lane. I think I am sweating already, but
it's all right. It's early days, It's pretty damn even. I'm sure Supreme eventually, once he gets a few of those braces online, he's just gonna feel completely a-okay here. Not really much, as you're saying, Niche should be able to do.
Yep, I still... yesterday I got the Sing Sing vibes from Niche. I don't know how well invested you were in Dota when he was considered one of the best mid laners. The way that he played Mirana, it was so cool. He just gets one last right click on the wave, then he uses the arrow. You don't even see it jump, double Starstorm, bam, bam, he kills you. Right? It was beautiful to be a part of that and watch it.
The glory days, eh? Back when everyone was like having some crazy highlight stuff going on.
Yep. We don't get that many of them now, or we are just used to them, and then we think, oh yeah, he used the glyph to stop him from getting a last hit, which he then got level 6 and killed him. Yeah, very cool. That is expected from Thompson. No, it's not expected, man. It's still awesome.
It really is. Yeah, we were 100% complacent now. I mean, how long's Dota2 been going for? It's 12 years? No, something like that?
2010. 2010 it started.
Like 14 years then, yeah. So
yes.
It's been going around a long time, and yeah, maybe we are just so used to these massive plays that potentially we're not as shocked and surprised as we once used to be. I'd still find it quite interesting if you got 5 heroes from the early years of Dota 2 and then playing up against 5 heroes now. I feel like they just get absolutely smashed. Like, every hero seems so much stronger.
Depends. Imagine a Batrider with his lasso from downtown. They nerfed that a billion times and the hero is still irrelevant. So there are heroes, or a Tiny, that used to have a level 1 toss that was 7 seconds cooldown. Not so sure. A lot of the heroes got nerfed, but they've been given options, let's say.
Yeah. I'd say now, all the heroes they got facets, they got innates, you got ag shards going on. It's like, there's a potential that they could be a lot stronger, but again, yeah, some heroes are definitely worse than they were back then.
Yep, or we get a TI6 Invoker plus Brewmaster, killing your tower in a second. Well, there's
there's some fun stuff that's happened throughout the history of Dota.
For sure,
but,
for sure.
Rather than speaking about the past times, see how this game is currently going down. Not really much pressure coming out from either side so far. If you look at early kills, everybody's just happy to sit back, resume their CSing. So far, it's Yawai who's at the bottom as Force is having a tremendous time so far on this MOUZ, 18 and 6.
Yep, every core on the map is doing okay-ish. It is MOUZ coming out ahead in mostly every lane, apart from the top lane, but that is to be expected. Centaur has such good animation and such good damage that I cannot see him lose.
Yeah, it feels like Bayuk should be A-okay for sure. And it looks like this mid is pretty much going how you were expecting, Harry. 22 and 8 to Supreme against the 15-0 of Niche, so definitely going to be limiting quite a lot of the experience going into the Mirana's hand. But when you actually look, there's not a massive amount of experience separating the two of them at this point, which is kind of surprising.
Denies are just not that important nowadays. It's weird. People sometimes don't even care about them. That's how unimportant they are, so much that even the invokers... Yeah, invoker lanes are kind of the only ones where people focus on it a little bit more.
I mean, do you think they should bring back where, you know, denies would give you a little bit of money? Do you think that would, like, prioritize it for a few players again? Or just change XP?
I think you should. I remember the days where it really did matter. But I like it better this way because then the matchup in the lane isn't the most important thing. Right? It's also how your lineup plays together. The Dota is about mid-game, and that is when we see the amazing plays. I think crushing of all three lanes and then losing the game of Dota just wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, up top. Bayuk was tossed underneath the tower, but it's a Centaur with 3 braces. He doesn't really give a crap. He's just going to walk it away. No problem at all. I don't really see him dying in time soon. But speaking of dying, Flacco. No, too pressured underneath the tower, but you're on an Omni Knight. He's easily able to survive through it. All lanes are just so damn tanky. Oh, Spengen actually nearly drops up top there. Super low.
Does survive. Barely, but still survives. And it does count. So, nicely done. You know, this Marcy just doesn't seem strong at the moment. And I'm surprised he didn't get a sidekick. Like, this is... I mean, the spell, right? Not the, not I thought he was going to be getting, like, the bodyguard facet or something. And Omni Knight rotating shows that they want Lina dead. Quite a lot of kill potential here for Passion UA.
Yeah, they're going to try and go for... Oh, toss into the tower, but the cookie just in time for Vernon to get him out of the tower range. Still taking a lot of damage. Looks like Bengo might just die. The power of the hammer comes in from Flacco to secure it. There you go. That's all the rotation you need to do, Harry. Just turn up, right-click somebody, and run all the way back to his lane.
Mirana got a scan off. He knows that Narman is coming. The first power rune, obviously you don't want to give it to the Mirana. You want to assist the Dragonite, and he got a haste rune. Supreme. He can't get a kill.
Yeah, too close to that tier 2 tower.
Also no mana.
Flacco's here as well as Fernand's, but again with this haste rune, like Fernand's just going to run around, try and chip away at this tower as much as he possibly can.
The idea here is to, from the Omni Knight, is to defend the tower as much as possible. This is not ideal for a Dragonite. You would have wanted a little bit more damage into that tier 1, but it is ideal in terms of CS and pushing out the Mirana, because Niche yesterday had such a good game, and with this kind of a start, coming back into it with the Mirana is not going to be easy.
Definitely not. Comes up towards top. Apparently just to right-click the tower. Not really interested in trying to go for any heroes like that, so we'll see if they're actually able to fully commit for this one. But the catapult's nearly dead.
Wave is coming.
Wave from both sides. There's a lot of AoE damage here from MOUZ to defend it, but actually on it, not much mana. Finally TP comes on in from Narman, and it looks like everyone from Passion UA is going to have to disengage. They do some decent damage to the tower, to be fair, but even still, Niche doesn't really get a whole lot out of that.
He wouldn't have been getting a lot in the mid lane either, right? So he find a good opportunity to rotate when the dragon form was on cooldown. And Flacco is getting quite a lot in the mid lane as well. Mid lane tower took less damage than the top tier 1, and you understand that in the future of this game, you need the towers to fall. Once the Mars is level 6, it is going to be much tougher to chip them down. So I would say that is a decent move looking into the future for Passion UA.
Yeah. So they're trying to get as much as they possibly can out of this map, realizing that, you know, potentially its mid is a bit of a wash. But it's quite, you know, it's interesting to see the fact that, you know, Flacco doesn't need to go back to his lane, as he looks like he might just be dying here in the mid. Both supports from MOUZ turn up. Okay, just I was about to say the guy doesn't need to be defending his carry, but it does end up dying there. Kind of unfortunate.
Dyer's
The curse.
top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
this is the thing. Passion at the moment don't really have a spot for some of their heroes. Omni Knight doesn't know what to do at the moment because you need stronger cores for you to protect. At this moment, they don't need your protection. The Mirana cannot lane versus the Dragonite. You're just wasting your time. He's getting so much more than you.
Ooh.
And that makes the game hard to read. And then these kind of moves from MOUZ are gonna be so much easier, right? And Arena is just pretty much a secured kill every single time.
Yeah, 100%. Batyuk could do nothing to that. Force just appears, arenas him, and then just twin gate straight back down to his own lane. But actually, Fernan's will see him, and yeah, why? They're going to try and do some damage to this MOUZ at the bot lane by the looks. Mr. Cameraman can look on down there, see how this one's going to go. His Force
Pretty bad for him.
The surge, and yeah, they do find him there. So, you know, he makes a good move to kill the Centaur, but wasn't quite ready to get ganked as soon as he came through that twin gate. So nice response there from Passion UA.
They are playing really good Dota, Passion, not gonna lie. In a situation where you are kind of unsure or what you should be doing, getting pickoffs in that situation on anybody is great because you are delaying the game to a point where your heroes are going to become stronger. But if you kill a core, a pretty tanky core, it is a big one, and you make use of the fact going on the Lina as well.
Yeah, talk about killing cores, and that's a very, very important one to bring down there. Stolen, it does drop, they take down the tower as well. But they are trying to focus onto this Lina as much as they can. As a result, is bumping the Lina down 800 gold behind that of Yawai right now, so slight advantage there for Passion UA's carry. A couple of tier 1s did drop at a similar time, obviously that top tier 1 for MOUZ side, but at the same time, Supreme was able to take the one in the middle.
Yeah, now the question is, with that tower in the middle dying, do you just want to get multiple BKBs and multiple Blink Daggers? And it seems that MOUZ will be doing it. Mid lane tower, once it falls, it opens up so many paths to invade enemy side of the map. So this is quite huge for MOUZ, especially because Dragonite already has his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, they're probably going to want to use that as soon as they possibly can. I imagine somebody's going to be holding a smoke for sure.
There is one on the Hoodwink, and Hoodwink is the one that's going to be going with him. Just Narman once he's level 6.
Oh, but Bengen, he goes through the twin gate, and just like what happened to Force, he gets ganked immediately and brought down.
He could have smoked there to survive if he wanted to, but maybe unnecessary.
Yawai turns in towards the Mastery right now, trying to get aggressive. Rita comes out there from Force, jumping from Supreme as well with the Blink reveal. It will secure the kill on towards Flacco, and most likely this tower as well, as I don't think Passion UA is going to bother bringing people to defend this one.
No, it's gone, but you can fight once once the tower is down, and that is what they're doing. This is the move they're making. Mortimer Kiss is at the ready. Supreme can very easily die.
Yeah, they're going to try and go for this one. Stampede is in. Norman, fantastic 2-man bushwhack. Does make some space here for Supreme.
He
With
missed
his
the
blink off
Scatterblast.
cooldown. Yeah, he's going to be fine. Mortimer's Kisses. Narman, unfortunately, not going to be so lucky as the Squirrel will die. But hey, he sacrificed his life to secure Supreme's life, so it's a win in his book.
It's okay, but still, that was from the angle that they were coming, 100% dead Dragonite, and you allowed him to escape. So it's gonna leave a sour taste in your mouth, that smoke, allowing the tower to fall and everything. You didn't do all that just for a support kill. So yeah, it is not ideal for Passion.
It really isn't. It looks like actually they're going to go to Batyuk at the top lane as well. The good blade starting off Bengen there.
No
Trying to
Stampede.
do what they can. He's a tanky man, but even still, they've got enough damage. Bengen nearly actually just dies to the blade mail alone. Didn't get hit a single time from the Centaur, but it's a scary amount of damage. But even still, it's another free kill here for MOUZ. And still not really any net worth advantage being built from either side, though. Something about less than 1k gold for MOUZ.
That's pretty solid for Passion UA, because the lanes went really well for MOUZ, and they haven't been able to do it. But that's why you have this Blink Dagger, and are going to be trying to change that situation right now.
Yeah, well, smoke here from Supreme with an amplified damage in his hand. Smoke breaks. Sees Furnace, but jumps immediately on towards the higher priority target, but the cookie plus the leap away. Niche is fine, no problem. So a little gank foiled there.
Unfortunately, some spells are being missed right here on MOUZ, and they got greedy for no reason. Maybe if you had a third hero there, a Mirana kill is a possibility. But the second that you saw the Snapfire, you have to know that a cookie is coming and that hero is not going to be going down.
Yeah, Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe they thought they would just be able to burst him a little bit faster than they could have, but yeah, just good positioning really from Fernandes to keep his core alive. And it's definitely what Niche needed. You know, he didn't have the best time in the mids, and he's trying to still recover. But when you actually think about it, the net worth disparity between these cores isn't really that much. At 13 minutes in, it's only a 1,000 gold separating the top farm core and the bottom farm core. Like, it's still just super even amongst everybody right now.
Yep, it is. And Mirana did go for the Dragonlance. I like this because both the Centaur and the Morphling are greedy. So you need somebody to be fighting. And with the Dragonlance, the Mirana is tankier. Quite a lot tankier. We'll be able always to survive, to get cookied, to get saved by the Omninet as well. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, especially if she puts the power trait onto strength, I imagine it'd be like close to 1,500 HP, something like that. That'd be very, very hard kill to find for sure.
He has like 1560. I think that's what I saw. So that's quite a solid amount that you have to go through, especially when you count in the infused range drops that he has.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, you know, any stick charges also get chucked on top of that. It's not going to be an easy kill at all for MOUZ. Might need to focus onto her quite a lot, in which case then the rest of the squad of Passion UA just gets completely ignored. But they may be getting ignored. So at the bot lane, stuff on towards the Morphling, scored into the trees. And that's a nice kill on towards your Y. Just no response coming from Passion UA in time.
It looked clean, but it wasn't here from MOUZ. First, the Mars used the spear onto a very far tree. Supreme didn't go for a stun immediately. Oh, they're going to be diving.
Yeah, Arena on towards Fernandes in the backlines. They will be able to bring down the stat fire eventually. Actually cooking it away. Fernandes might be able to survive for this one. And now, Bayek as well as needs. They're going to be able to bring down four Performance Kisses as well to secure it. And that is a little bit of greed from Force there, trying to secure that kill. Puts himself in such a bad position.
I think the problem was that the Dragonite took a lot of damage from the tower. And that put him in a position where he didn't want to follow on this move. Because let's say you bring down the Snapfire there. You are already in a position where if there is a fight, it is a 3 versus 3 already. And you might be able to disengage with minimal casualties, or maybe even with none. Whilst when the Dragonite is that low, he understands that blinking in will pretty much mean his demise.
Definitely will. Oh, Flacco. Okay, that's a freebie. Just casually runs into Olnet as well as Benga. I'm not entirely sure what he was doing by the secret shop. Was he buying something? Oh, I think he went to get an energy booster for his Pavis and yeah, just completely gets caught out of position.
He had a ward, and placing it in a lane is not at all bad, because there is going to be fights around this bottom lane once the Roshan moves, right? You don't have your tier 1, you have to have superior vision on Passion UA if you want to be stopping MOUZ from getting it once the daytime does come, and it does look like Passion UA are not going to be trying to get it on the top lane.
It's kind of, I don't know, still trying to make space for UI, I guess, to resume his farm, who has just completed a Manta style. So, you know, he's progressing in silence with decent pace, but at the same time, Allnet just completed a Glepnir of his own. And you could judge by where everybody from MOUZ's position, they're going to look for a kill. They found Niche as well. Once again, bringing down this mid lane, and they're just going to focus onto the tier 2 as well.
Yeah, this tier 2 is gone.
Yeah, it's going to get brought down. But actually, look at what Passion UA's do with this 3-man smoke. They're coming on over. They will bump in towards Narman. So the Squirrel tanks the gank. They're still coming in here for Passion UA. They want to take this fight, but I think MOUZ would be very happy to take it as well.
Morph isn't here. Just get out. Get out. Okay, MOUZ thought these guys, they're not crazy enough to go for us. I think the moment that the Mirana lost her life, you should be even happy that you got a freebie on the Snapfire. There was no way. If you engage in that fight, you are getting demolished because the Morphling doesn't have anywhere to TP to. You are just not going to have the damage.
Yeah, 100%. It's just not quite. Your doesn't feel like he's ready to actually take these engagements yet, so he's just going to carry on doing his own thing. And I mean, who does this sort of like even standing favor here? 7-7 on the score. It's only a 1k gold lead here for MOUZ. Like, which team is really benefiting from this kind of stalemate?
Well, it might be only a 1k gold lead, but the thing is with the tier 2 on the bottom falling, you have opened up the map too much and YoY dying. I think he had a second there to start morphing into strength. Turn around.
Yeah, they managed to bring down Narman. Try to find Supreme in the trees and Warmest Kisses, but good footwork. The DK avoids it, but here comes the counterplay from MOUZ. Although the leader just runs into 3 people on it. Crushed to the ground. And now Benga potentially in danger, will be able to get the jump away, but a cookie forward, Niche on his case. Not going to decide to dive to tier 2 for this one, but they do have the high ground ward, so the vision advantage is here. Jump into the trees, they found Force. Not much follow-up though, as Niche
Hard kill.
was holding on to the arrow, and yeah, it looks like the call for Passion UA is just to disengage.
Olnet's really messed up there. Really messed up with Alina coming up the high ground like a madman, thinking that you're going to be connecting to your team. That is an optimistic thought and kind of nullifies that Morphling kill.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if Olnet had a BKB, that would have been completely different. He would have been fine, but he's still a long, long way away from completing it. I mean, he even has a Hurricane Fight queued up first. I mean, I feel like BKB is probably more important, right?
Even then, hoof stomp into an arrow, you can very easily die. I think the pike is okay. If there's an arena, if there's a Dragonite in front, you're going to be able to position yourselves correctly. And there it is. Now they go for Roche during nighttime. This is a big thing, right? Because MOUZ, ideally, they secured the bottom part of the map where they're going to be able to get Roche, but considering they pushed Passion UA out of this side of the map, they get the Roche and now are going to be able to fight on top of this one with all of their spells. It makes things quite uncomfortable for the Radiant side.
It really is. But Passion UA still hang around this area. It feels like they're willing to take this fight. Obviously, Batyuk in the front, Bushwhack not actually going to land. LSA will with the sharpshooter connects, the Gunabade as well. He's still so damn tanky. In comes the Guardian Angel as well. Batyuk going to be able to disengage from
Big arena.
With the 3-man arena. Does get the spear as well onto the Centaur. Probably going to be dropping. Flacco healing up his offlaner before he dies. But it looks like Fernand's having to throw his life away to try and secure the retreat. Good return kill on towards Force. The control on towards UI. He's getting control, throw back. He's trying to run himself away. The Moonlight Shadow's trying to do its work, but it's just not fast enough. And it's 3 people dead here from Passion UA.
Later in
they're
2.
still thinking about chasing. Jump on in with the blink. They got the stun. Niche in the grave as well. And what a big win from MOUZ.
Yeah, this is coming back to your question, right? Who is okay with a stalemate? It wasn't really a stalemate because MOUZ were controlling the majority of the map. Being able to take that tier 2 on the bottom lane, it's just so many resources that Passion UA has to give there to be able to potentially defend Roche later on, or you are going to be using 1 or 2 heroes, which allows MOUZ to go even for this early Roche play. And then you're in a position where, okay, guys, we're in the top lane where we have better vision. And this is maybe our last chance to get a good fight off, and you go for it, but the opponents are just strong at that moment, in a good position, protecting their Lina, and Olnet just demolishes everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it started off pretty decently for them, though. I mean, like, Batyuk was in the front, he tanked, like, 3 different ultimates, and he was still super healthy afterwards, so it felt like maybe it could have been an actual decent fight for them, but even still, just MOUZ were able to just persist through that, and then just ended up melting the backlines, and like, okay, the Centaur's not really dying, let's just go for everybody else, and yeah, Passion UA just fell apart at the seams.
Usually you look at it that way, but you can also look at it that MOUZ weren't really using their big arena. That is the one spell that's going to protect the Lina, and Lina is already attacking, and you cannot re-engage on her. If you cannot get on top of the Lina, you are going to lose the fight, and if he can attack for 10 seconds before the arena usage, you kind of have to know that bailing as fast as possible out of that situation is probably your best bet.
Yeah, and as a result, Passion UA put themselves in a bad fight, and now all of a sudden 9,000 gold behind. Like we were saying just a few minutes before, how this game still felt pretty damn even, but not anymore. MOUZ firmly in the lead with a +1 kill on for Fernand's. Just gonna make that much better for themselves. It's gonna start pulling down towers. It's like, are Passion UA in the position where they can really respond and defend these buildings, or do they just need more time still?
They have so much right-click damage, and you would want to utilize it. If you find the Lina is different, but at the moment, with the Aegis, I think you don't do it. Just don't do it. Try to shove out the waves as much as possible. Somebody needs to be sent to the bottom lane to shove out that one. Oh, no. Not again.
It's another kill. Yoi just caught with his pants down. Just blink stun from Supreme with the follow-up of the Bushwhack and everything. That's all they need to kill the most important hero on the side of Passion UA. And that's just really going to be a big blow to their state of mind here for the Radiant side. Just the fact that your carry dies this damn easy.
Yeah, I wouldn't even bring past MOUZ to go high ground now. Just there's no glyph. It was just used. So you can, I guess, just get all of the tier 2s and reset. As I mentioned, Lina can still die. And on a, if you are pushing high ground, that's where it's much easier for the enemies to blink, stun you, and burst you down. And without the Lina damage, you might be a little bit lacking on the MOUZ side.
Yeah, but that means Passion Yue, without a doubt, have to try and kill Olnit 2 times in a row while the rest of his team is still behind him. It's not easy at all. And yeah, he's just knocking on this tier 3's door. But like, if you don't answer Passion Yue, you're going to end up losing some more buildings. So far, it is still niche outside of the base. He's still a long way away from the BKB, so he might just be resigned to just giving away these buildings here, or at least waiting until the Aegis is gone.
They have a Crimson Guard. That always helps. I think this is a tier 3 and back.
Oh, Batyuk. Okay, stunned, but he's still very, very tanky. Blade Mail as well. Hard killed and fine. He will get out of there, no problem. But yeah, they still lost their tier 3.
Aegis.
And now Olnit working on the buildings.
Okay, it's fast enough. You have the damage, and Passion Yue have given up. Oh!
Door protection.
Back door?
Okay, that's actually pretty big. That definitely keeps him in it. And now actually Passion Yue, they're
got out
going
to
to get
fight.
aggressive themselves on towards Supreme, who pops the BKB. Gonna try and run away. Once again, Batyuk getting focused, but he's tanking for a good arena from Force, locking down on towards 3 Guardian Angel. Passion Yue will survive through it, or will they? The LSA and all the spells just connect perfectly. Niche and Flacco torn asunder. Fernand's as well is going to drop, and now Yawai on his own against 4. He's just going to get chain stuns to the end of the Herbal. Batyuk jumps in with a good multi-hero stun. Maybe that's going to give Yawai the space to run away, but it's just not enough. He will still die. The spear whiffs, but who gives a crap, Harry? As everybody on Passion Yue is dead. MOUZ loses a little squirrel.
Yeah, but it is... You know, it's one of those moments where we try to go for a silver lining and we're like, oh, but their respawn timers are not that high because they're such low level. This is gonna allow them to get killed again, basically, right? I'm very surprised that Passion Yue left their base. It was... MOUZ wouldn't have gone for their axes there. You lost your Aegis. The backdoor protection kicked in. Lina is vulnerable. Maybe the Dragonite goes and gives his life away for it, but you probably just let it go and reset, so that does give you more time to find an opening, a proper opening before the next Roche. Now, with you losing that fight and losing the lane of Rax, it looks very, very unlikely that they can get back into this game.
Yeah, they've put themselves extremely far behind now after that little turn of events, and maybe we can chalk it up to they didn't see the freshly picked up BKB for Supreme. Like, maybe he just got it delivered and nobody checked his inventory, which is why they put themselves in that bad situation. Because, like, potentially without that, they could have found that kill. But yeah, just an all-in play which did not pan out for them. And now
they're going for another one.
Desperation move. This smoke, well, they found a jump on Supreme. Arrow setup is there. Supreme dead. That's a huge find here from Passion Yue. Exactly what they needed. But is that enough, Harry, to really make a big difference here in this game?
No, it is enough to shove out the waves and go for a next play, right? You place good aggressive vision, you shove out the waves, and that is the opening that you were looking for, right? So at this moment, you cannot think that one kill is gonna give you this big advantage back. It just needs to be good play after good play after good play, forcing enemies into a mistake. But that's the case right now. MOUZ are gonna be pulling back a little bit, smoking when they have the Dragonite back up, and just by missing from the map, it will be pretty claustrophobic and scary for Passion Yue. You pull back, and that's how you play the tug of war in Dota. But so far so good. I just don't like that this bottom lane wasn't pushed out far enough. Mars made sure of it.
Yeah, still lots of space for MOUZ. Pushed into the bomb and the mid as well, really. So not really like much map space was gained from Passion Yue at all. And second Roche as well. Let's see how quick it's going to be. Wow, very long, 2 minutes 40 seconds. So nobody's going to be able to capitalize off that anytime soon. And MOUZ, they went for a 5-man smoke, maybe thinking that Passion Yue were going to try and go for it themselves, secure the area. But as we can see on the map, they've completely bailed. They do not seem interested at assessing this one.
This is a get them back into their base smoke. You know that it's probably not going to work out. It is a smoke that's going to give you vision. You are going to suppose where the Roche will be, and you're probably going to suppose wrong because it will be most definitely on the Radiant side, on the bottom. He will be maybe spawning on the Dire, but immediately traveling. So it is a smoke that by missing off the map, Passion UA goes back to the base, you play some good vision, and then you will try to use that vision later on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you are Passion right now, you know, you've not got any sort of vision up at that top lane area. You know Roshan could be spawning any second now. Are they just resigning themselves to playing against 2 lives on the Lina again? Or do you think they kind of are forced to make a play for it?
In my mind, they're forced to make a play. Lina gets the Sagas, it's over. You're not going to be stopping him. Killing the Lina twice is next to impossible. You need to rely on the fact that you can burst down this Lina. Or burst down anybody when the fight starts. And once the Lina has the Aegis, he's going to be the only one offered. So yeah, going for a smoke. This is a necessity.
That's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, well, I was actually right next to the Wisdom Room, but he didn't pick it up there at the bottom part of the map before he came over. I mean, he'd only been level 19. It's not like he would have got like a big level out of that, but sometimes some of those extra few stats can make all the difference. But we'll see how this fight ends up going down. Fernand does reveal that Passion UA are in the area by using his skills as a quick wave. Oh, but Bengen, though, in a fantastic spot, actually breaks the smoke himself, puts down some walls left inside of Passion UA, jump forward, stun, misses from Batyuk. Arrow as well. Also misses. Don't know how that didn't connect so well. 3-man Glepnir comes on through. Silence on towards Flacco, jumping for Batyuk, wants to try and help out supports if he can, but he's on the high ground with the BKB. The right foot is holding though, doing a lot of work. And it looks like MOUZ for Passion will just back out. Jump forwards yet again, stun on towards Narman, Mormus kisses. Gonna rain on through, see how much damage they can really do. It's actually Batyuk who's taking a lot of the damage here with the nullifier on top of him. UI jumps forward, hits the stun, Arena, LSA. Way more of an overextension of what he needed to do, and now this is just an immediate loss here from Passion UA. As Batyuk, no chance to survive. Can they pick off anybody else? They see Flacco hiding in the trees. It's only a matter of time before he too falls. But he's wasting time here. You know, I guess that's what Flacco can do. As that fight was just a disaster.
Oh, Lina's gonna find the Mirana. This is not over.
Yeah, starting off.
Found an illusion rune. Dude, the luckiest son of a gun ever. Any other rune, and you're dead. Even the shield rune, Lina bursts through it, and he finds an illusion. That's some serious luck right there coming on out. Very, very fortunate. But hey, I mean, he wouldn't even have been there if the rune hadn't spawned, so it's like, it's a very awkward situation. But as it stands, it's just another massive win for MOUZ, and now rolling into the Roche pit for the second time this game, and potentially we'll just close it out with this second Aegis into the hands of Allnet. That last fight was not too bad for Passion though. They did everything right apart from when the Morphling dove in. But before that, jumping in with the Centaur. He's not an easy guy to bring down, has the shard. You force out the Lina BKB, you kite it out, you make a line with the Mortimer's Kisses, and then you try to go again. Without the Lina BKB, she is vulnerable and can get bursted down. The problem is that the Morphling thought he could do it on his own. You still need to continue after that to communicate properly in a fight, to find the right initiation together. Also saving the Omni-Knight. I thought he was gone, but Nullifier doesn't help you versus a cookie.
It really doesn't. Yeah, it was just definitely a bit of overplaying their hand there from UI. Did end up costing the team pretty damn big. And now, tier 3 at the bot, getting sieged. Still not actually returning to the base yet. UI, I think he's still trying to save and pull that BKB, but whilst he's getting the item, his base is falling apart. Probably going to be a full set of barracks as a result. Jump forward, 3-man Arena again here for a force. These will be able to back out with the BKB, but it's not going to make any difference to Fernand and Batyuk. As they are both gone, no buyback available. Allnet as well, look at that, he just turns on towards Niche. He's like, fine, you want a right-clicking war, I will gladly take it.
Where's your illusion now?
Yeah, you're right. He's taken down the top tier 2, completed his BKB as well, but it's not going to matter here, Harry. This is already over by the looks. The Ancient is dying. They're stuck inside their fountain, and that is such an easy win for MOUZ.
Yeah, I didn't really see any pushback coming out from Passion UA. There were some nice things about... there were some nice things from Passion UA. There were some moments where they were looking better, or looking solid, But the thing is, with the loss on the laning stage and the sheer greed of their heroes, it was very rough. You might have been able to keep the net worth in check, but the map control wasn't there. And at some point, that map control will turn into kills, especially when there's 2 blink daggers and just quite a lot of jump on MOUZ in general.
Yeah, 100%. It's like they got the blinks, they had all the vision, they had all the space, and they just used it to perfection and just shut Passion UA out of this game. Found multiple kills on UI on this Morphling, who actually ended 5 and 6. So just plenty of deaths. I'm wondering if maybe he went for like an early Lincolns, it might have been better, because it did really seem like all of his deaths when he was farming was just like a blink Dragon Tail stun, and that's what got him. So I don't know. Do you think that he did go for that Lincolns? It might have made a difference.
Yeah, when the game started, I think they didn't quite read the situation well in the sense how lanes are going to go. And the Lincolns is an item that generally does allow the Morphling to fight earlier. So maybe, but I would say that Morphling was positioned badly in terms of shoving out the waves. It was not his job to deal with that top wave. I would say a Snapfire should be giving her life away, very good at shoving out the waves, and then Morphling can be farming a little bit more safely. So let's put it that way. I think the roles in terms of who needs to be on the hit first might not have been great for them. And then sure, we can now go back and say if he had a Lincolns, those times he would have survived, but his farm just wouldn't have been as high if that's the item he goes for.
No, that's true. I mean, it's always like the power of hindsight, isn't it? Once the game's over, like maybe you could say if they did this, they did that, then could have been a potential different outcome. But as it stands, Passion UA, they tried to get the win. It was extremely close for a vast majority of this game, like even up to like 15 to 20 minutes. It was only a 1k gold lead, even scoreline, but unfortunately for them, it didn't really amount to anything, and MOUZ was just able to apply so much pressure. One thing I will mention as well, Harry, that is MOUZ's first win on the Marcy. Woohoo! All right,
let's go.
They're in there. They're up there. You know, 1 win out of 7 now. It's much better than 0%. And we'll see if they're maybe going to roll with it more in the coming series. I mean, if you're on the side of Passion UA, is there any draft adjustments in your opinion they needed to make?
Not really. I don't think so. A lot of the tier 2 teams have a problem when they have a first pick. They don't know really how to utilize it all that well. So Passion UA, maybe get yourself a last pick if you can, and then make sure that you do not get demolished in the mid lane, because a lot of the games where I saw Passion UA do well, it was niche making plays from the mid lane, and when you get completely annihilated in terms of CS and just have to find scrapes of farm around the map hoping that you're going to be landing those arrows, it does turn into a problem. So maybe that could be an adjustment, but in general I don't think the draft of theirs was a problem.
Okay, well, we'll see what sort of changes they will be making in game number 2, guys, which we'll be jumping over to in just a short break, about 8 to 10 minutes time, and we shall return to see whether Passion UA can push us onto that third map or not. Because as we mentioned earlier, this is the lower bracket, it's the do or die time. If they want to stay here in the CCT, they've got to get that win, but we shall find out very, very soon. We'll see you in a bit.
Radiant's current has been killed.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and game number 2 is here, and let's find out what Passion UA are going to be able to bring to the table here for this game number 2 to try and make some kind of difference here, because that first game didn't look too good at all, did it, Harry?
No, but there were moments where you think there's something in them, right? These guys can bring something to the table. They have an idea of what their goal is. But yeah, there was a couple of mistakes. MOUZ are the type of team that are going to be able to capitalize on that. And, well, mainly I'm talking about the Morphling. I think he just didn't play up to the standards. His impact was pretty much non-existent, but that doesn't mean that it will not be existent in the second game. Plus, they do have a last pick this time around here, Blue Scale, so they have listened right to our wonderful advice, and now maybe they get the right matchup in the mid lane, which will allow them to play Dota in a way that they prefer.
Yeah, fingers crossed that is the case for their own sake at the very least, because as we were saying earlier, they're only one loss now away from getting booted out of the tournament, so it's definitely the time when they need to really bring their A game. One adjustment they've already made has been they've actually banned out the Lina this time round, so Olnit's not going to be able to roll with the carry 2 times in a row. They also actually take away both the Omni and the Shadow Demon as well there.
Yep, both of them out. You don't want to be playing against either of them. That's fine, I respect it. The Naga Siren is in the pool if MOUZ want to go that route, if that is a position 5 they want to go for. And I've seen so many Nagas just make a huge difference. People talk about the delusion, the ensnare, and all of that, but just having a support that can shove out the waves so aggressively is such a huge deal.
It really is, yeah. Just send your illusions in, especially if you've got the deluge. Just pop that, and there goes, free wave gone, and you don't even have to risk your hero to defend it. So it does. There are a lot of different ways that the POS5 Naga has looked really strong, and I feel like I don't know, it's been one of the most successful position 5s, I feel like every single time I've seen it, it's always done tremendously well, so wouldn't be too surprised if we see it coming out at some point in this game. But MOUZ are actually going to take the first pick, Doom. I believe that was one of the opening bans from Passion UA in game number 1, so MOUZ see that it's still available, and they just snap that one up straight away.
I think it's one of their best heroes. Doom is banned in some games in the first phase anyways, but I think MOUZ utilized this hero really, really well, right? In the Southeast Asia offlaners, even position 4s, they know about this. Plus, it's pretty solid versus the Naga that now Passion UA goes for, right? You leave the Naga in the pool, but laning stage-wise, she doesn't really do all that well when the Doom is running towards you with Scorched Earth. You have the Deluge to slow him down, sure, but surviving is not that easy.
No, definitely not. It's already not the safest of starts here for the position 5 Naga, if that is indeed what it is going to be. Meanwhile, MOUZ actually take away the sniper as well as the Mars this time round, so not going to see that pretty highly prioritized position 4 sniper that we've seen in many other series so far here in the CCT. Yeah, they just really did not want to see that one come out here in this game. We'll see what Passion UA are going to decide to take out themselves, though. I don't know, do you think it's just worth dropping the respect ban over towards the Dragon Knight as well? Because that also was quite a problem in game 1.
Probably not. It was the last pick Dragon Knight. You're not going to be too mad about it. I guess you might want to pick a Mirana, so you get rid of a carry that... You could get rid of a carry that MOUZ would want to play. Or maybe get rid of the Mirana yourself and pick a Morphling again, if that's the route that you want to take. Versus a Doom, it's a pretty crappy pick, but it is a hero that buys into Link, as they will get rid of a puck. Okay, so probably thinking they're not going to be having hard lockdown.
All right, quite interesting to see that one come out. So we'll see what Passion UA are going to decide to pick into now. Do you think there's any key heroes that are puck significant counters in the mid lane, which they might just try and pick up right now?
Not really. The current mid laners that are being played are generally okay versus the puck. The supports that are being played are just not good at keeping him in place. Laning stage wise, there are problem solvers for the puck, but in general, in most of the games, he does look untouchable. I've seen the best way for people dealing with the puck nowadays is just being so tanky that he cannot kill you and you just ignore him. Which, I mean, you're gonna agree, it's not the most optimal way to do it.
No, but you know, some people like to play in these heroes in all sorts of kind of ways, so we'll see what they're going to go for. I wouldn't be too surprised if they just go for an Ember Spirit or something like that, because that is actually one of Passion.UA's most successful heroes so far in 7.37. They've played it a heck of a lot as well, so maybe they might decide to go back in for that one, unless, of course, it gets snatched away by MOUZ in these coming couple of picks. As, yeah, they decide to go for the Snapfire instead there.
Too risky. I think it's too risky to get it because there's always going to be the Huskars, Vipers, Dazzles, and stuff like that. Supreme, he can't play those, so it is not easy to go versus that. And now you get a Gyro, which is somewhat of a flex, but we know that Olnit does like to play this hero. And then Jakiro, as soon as you saw the two supports, Rubik isn't bad, but it doesn't matter. You can get the Jakiro yourself. If Passion.UA were to play a mid lane Rubik or a mid lane Snapfire, sure, be my guest, or even a carry Naga Siren, but that's most likely not going to be happening when there's a dude Gyro and a Jakiro on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, I do like there's so many good spells to steal though, Harry. You know, they might be tempted to go for it either way. Like, you know, potentially the mid Snapfire might not be too bad of an idea, because, you know, you can steal Doom, Dual Breath, Ice Path, Back Repair, Cooldown as well. Like, several solid spells already here they could potentially steal. I mean, how many times has Passion.UA even played a Rubik? The answer to that is actually 0. They've never played Rubik in 7.37. Wow, that's quite surprising.
Terrorblade Primal Beast. Okay, this now looks like a classic Eastern European lineup. They play a Terrorblade. Only Eastern European carries dare to go for him. Maybe Ame picks it up from time to time, and now there's going to be an Ember Spirit on the 18. It would be very risky to pick it on the 16-17, so you get it on the 18, you ban out the Huskar, you ban out another hero that you think is going to be a problem, and you've generally secured the Ember Spirit, who is insane in the current meta. The only thing that kind of makes him okay, right, is that he is counterable by some of the cheese picks that are currently available in the draft.
Which bit of cheese do you think they might try and go for? Because as you mentioned, there are still a few sort of counters to him in the mid. Which one do you think Passion.UA is going to try and prioritize here?
I don't know. I don't know if you could get it, right? With the Huskar ban, and there's probably going to be another one. Maybe, I don't know, Viper, then Dazzle is not really... Dazzle could be a good ban, right? Because there is a Terrorblade in the pool, and yeah, I guess maybe he would be the one to think about, though. You never know if Niche does play it, if he does prefer it or not.
I think like an Earthshaker could also be a potential route that they might go down to. Lane's pretty well versus the Ember Spirit. It's a lot more lockdown coming into the team fights as well. Maybe see that. I
like it. That's a good ban, right? And it's more in sync with the current meta for sure, right? You do have that last pick. I would not hate that ban. Pretty good call.
We'll see what they're going to go for. As Passion.UA still thinking about what other carry that they want to get rid of, and it is actually going to be the Weaver. Actually, are they ban carry? So are they thinking this is a support Gyro then, considering how they banned the Morph and the Weaver, or are they just really trying to force that Gyro to be the carry?
Well, it is going to be a support Gyro now. Seeing the Dragonite, we know it. So Dragonite pretty good versus illusion-based heroes. Terrorblade, not your classic illusion-based heroes. He's a little bit stronger than that, but sure.
Okay, so now choices here for Passion.UA. 26 seconds of reserve time left after this as well, so a little bit of time to consider this one. But yeah, as it was the Monkey King banned out there from MOUZ, the Dazzle is still an option, the Earthshaker is still an option. We'll see which one they're actually just going to try and go for right now.
I'm just loving the Shaker idea now. I think it's right up Nisha's alley, right? And you're better off having heroes to make plays with than thinking that you're going to be beating a superior team with just straight up positioning. That's what the Dazzle is going to do. Plus, he tends to take a long time to finish his Aghanim Scepter, even once he crushes the laning phase. But they go Kunkka. Okay, that could be an offlane Kunkka as well, sending the Primal Beast to the mid lane. We're going to be finding out fairly soon what's going to be the case. And yeah, it is going to be Vivodi that takes it.
Okay, yeah, so Niche on the Primal Beast mid versus Supreme's Ember Spirit. It's definitely Primal Beast favored, but considering the actual players, do you think Supreme is still going to be able to do a pretty solid job considering that matchup, or?
Yeah, it's fine, right? Primal Beast is better for him in a sense that he has slightly better damage, but overall you're not killing the Ember Spirit, you're not forcing him out of the lane easy. With the chains, he's just going to be able to slow you down and then move away until your trample stops. So overall the mid lane is kind of a wash unless somebody makes a mistake or we see rotations.
It definitely could be a fair amount of rotations from both sides, to be honest. Like, every single support here seems pretty good at being able to just rolling into the mid and throwing out a few disables. So potentially that mid lane could be pretty damn hectic. But maybe it all just depends on how the side lanes are going initially, whether the carries can survive on their own before those supports deciding to rotate on out. But how are you feeling about this final pick Kunkka here from Passion UA? Like, do you think this is a really big, like, wow, good pick, or?
It's a solid one. It's a solid one because you are protecting your Terrorblade. You have really good catch. The problem is I don't see a solution to December Spirit, right? And if Supreme has anything close to a solid laning stage, which he should, I don't know how you stop it. But overall, Passion UA's draft, it makes a lot of sense. You have a Terrorblade who's probably going to be the strongest hero on the map, minute 30 to 35. Maybe the Dragon Knight overtakes him a little bit later than that. Once he gets his Scotty, right, on the Terrorblade. Then you have so many things to protect him with: the cookies, the boat as well, Grog Blossom, all that run buff from the Kunkka. You have good rotation potential coming out from the Primal Beast. You have good wave outpush from both the illusions. Yeah, I think Passion are gonna have a bit of a better shot in this game than in the previous one. There isn't a clear laning advantage on MOUZ, and MOUZ just have to consistently play well. If you find a way to deal with the Ember Spirit, you could win this game, but alas, we are still looking at MOUZ as the favorites, of course.
Yeah, just in terms of how the team's been performing, 100%. But I agree. I feel like this is a pretty decent lineup here from Passion UA. Definitely the potential they could get this win and push it onto that third map to at least keep themselves alive here in the CCT, but it's not going to be easy. And as you were mentioning, focusing on towards Supreme, trying to make sure this Ember Spirit does not have an insane game is going to be vital to their success. So, given that, maybe then they're going to be forced to just move some of those supports into this mid to try and find some early kills, or at least, make it a lot easier for Niche to have a good time. But we'll have to wait and see on how much emphasis they are actually going to put onto this Ember. But doesn't look like we've got any particular smoke players coming out from either side this time round, so no one's going to attempt to go for a little cheeky first blood. Instead, most likely just going to be the standard 2-for-2 split on the bounties.
Unless maybe MOUZ wants to fight on the runes, because they do have a lot of their heroes together, and sometimes the teams can make a bad read. It very rarely happens in terms of, oh, I can get this rune, and then they die. Look at the Snapfire. Wants to steal it.
Yeah, Fernandes might be in a bad spot here. Runs into Penguin. Fernandes will be able to grab the bounty at the very least, but unfortunately he's running off to the right side. Yeah, he's dead.
They don't have a stun.
Only is there with Dragtef. He goes for it. Yeah, he actually gets out alive. Risky, but he does survive, no problem.
Yep, Narman didn't want to start off with the homing missile. It's just a bad spell in the lane, so goes for the flat cannon. It was either the rocket barrage or the flat cannon that you get in that position, really. First blood is not worth it.
Yeah, maybe once upon a time in Dota history when, kills gave you a lot more experience, everything like that, then maybe it would have been a natural decision to go for it instead. But yeah, it's all about now just securing a decent lane and making sure that you get the CS onto your core more than anything else.
Is the Emperor in the end go for the chain gang? Yeah, he did. Okay, this is gonna be quite cool to see Supreme with this one. He is known as a very individually good player, right? Very nice personal skills, micro plays, and you do need a certain type of guy for this chain gang. A lot of the Ember Spirits aren't even practicing it. Maybe there's even a pro player who doesn't even know how it works, doesn't care, just wants to be murdering people with the double impact.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting little facet to go for. I mean, I don't actually know. Do you know what the pick disparity is between these two? Is it like roughly 50-50? Because, you know,
In competitive gameplay, no. In competitive gameplay, definitely not, right? Double impact is mostly going to be picked up. I guess there's just so many illusions, so you can get the chains on all of them on the map if you play properly.
Vernon's up top, in danger. The torrent actually misses, doesn't stun a single person, and as a result, Vernon's actually dies. And own it with the first blood onto the DK. Perfect start there for the carry MOUZ. Super happy about that.
And Dragonite, the Terrorblade falls as well. That is a problem. Even the Kunkka is in trouble.
Oh my lord, yeah, Flacco dies. It's a double kill for Narman, and he just sacrifices himself to the tower to make sure he respawns in. Full HP, full mana. Yeah, this is a pretty rocky start now here for the side of Passion UA. 3 kills in the space of like 10 seconds across the map. Not at all how you want it. Really now it just feels like Niche who's having a fun time.
And this is a problem, right? We talked about the last pick, and that last pick did maybe allow you for the mid lane to not get heavily countered from the other side. But the first thing is you didn't heavily counter the enemy mid lane, and the first pick allows you to have better side lanes in general. And this is what MOUZ went for. But in side lanes, there's more wiggle room to even it out because it is a 2 versus 2 and so many more chances for an outplay. But I don't necessarily think that's good for Passion UA because you are a team that's considered the underdog.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, maybe they're just going to try and bank all their hopes on this game going pretty damn late just to see if the Terrorblade on UI can get big enough to really run themselves through. But so far, the way that this lane is currently going, it's not looking too hot. Vernon's continuous pressure, man. Normally you don't see a carry put this much emphasis on hitting enemy heroes. Normally they just want to sit back and hit creeps, but on it is more than willing just to run at people. Look at these back here, in danger. Couple right clicks from Bengen.
Got him.
They just find him, own it with a little love tap from behind. It's 2 kills now for the DK. He's still like contending for top CS as well. This is extremely scary now for Passion UA.
Yeah, you cannot allow the laning stage to continue in this way, and they're even diving the Terrorblade once again with the glyph usage.
See if they can find this kill. It's actually Flacco who's taking more damage just from the AoE of the Scorched Earth there. Actually scary how much work it does do, but at the very least you are able to get out, although runs back in towards Force. Blood grenades. Not really able to commit for the kills. Too many creeps there to soak up the rocket barrage.
He'll be fine. Oh, nice reeling into the tower.
Okay.
That's where he wants to be.
It's like lots of trades going on right now, but at the very least, Passion UA not dying here at the spot anymore. Looks like Fernand's actually made a rotation to the mid as well, was able to secure one of the water runes, so Supreme actually lacking a bottle refill there, so maybe Passion UA, or at least Niche, can use that to his advantage. Actually, heading down to the bot, maybe he's going to look for a kill, and he is. Unfortunately for himself, he just walked underneath an observer ward though, so MOUZ know he's here. Yeah, they just walk away, no problem.
And now that even allows the Ember Spirit to be ahead in the mid lane. This is not good. This is not good. You're losing all 3 of the lanes, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty dire. And Benga just TP's mid, fills up the ball for Supreme in either way. Actually pinging out on towards Niche, they're going to try and go for this kill.
He's gone.
Long range ice craft, he just gets taken out. The onslaught was actually used to kill creeps, and as a result, no escape method. And yeah, you're saying how this mid lane's going bad, but now it's even worse here, Harry. This is diabolical.
Yep, the thing is that the Dragonite is the type of hero that you can leave alone. Kunkka is not really the strongest hero in terms of killing people. He's solid at surviving, but killing the Dragonite, not really, even with the solid support like the Snapfire.
Because Iona has just got the freest game ever right now. Happily hitting creeps, finding kills when they come towards him, not being pressured at all. I mean, we were saying, you know, at the start of this game that the draft felt like this is a pretty good chance here for Passion UA to get the win, but it seems to be going worse than game number 1 somehow.
They didn't respect the strength of the side lanes. That's just what it is. The first power rune also going towards Supreme. It is okay, right? A 1k gold lead is not the end of the world. But I just have this feeling that MOUZ are only just getting started. You are not going to be able to pressure the Dragonite. I don't see how you really kill him until you have your level 6s. I don't know if the 6s of your cores are going to be enough or if supports are needed as well. And that will give a very easy read to Ulnit to do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, it does just seem he has that much freedom, really. It's not much of a problem at all so far. Going to be getting his armlet online at a pretty solid timing amongst everything else. Batyuk is, to be honest, still finding a decent-ish amount of CS, although speaking of, in danger at the top lane.
Supreme is coming.
Control, but he is fine. But yeah, Supreme, what a fantastic placement there. The two-man Shearer Chains comes on through. Batyuk is just dead, and Fernand's going to be the icing on the cake here. 2 people gone.
Wisdom Rune?
And the 7-minute Wisdom Rune, but Flacco
Didn't get
at
it.
the very least TP's in for it.
Nicely done by Flacco. That would have been such a huge deal if you take it away as well, because the Mortimer kisses are incredibly important in this game if you want to be getting kills. But, you know, we're talking about this Dragonite. That's not as big of an issue as this Ember Spirit having a hell of a game. I don't know how to close him out now. Ulnit has put himself in a bad position. Oh, bad.
Turns around, goes in completely the wrong direction, and maybe now MOUZ thinking about going for some sort of counter play, and yeah, Fernand's caught out. He's still only level 3 at 7.5 minutes in, and he's not going to be getting an extra level anytime soon.
They're contesting the stacks.
Trying to take these stacks. Has to give a try. He's not far enough. He's still on the high ground. Banks though coming on in. He does have the boat to use. He's going to drop it right now. Do they have enough control for Supreme? But he dodges it there with the sleight of fist. No problem for this Ember Spirit. He still just wants to kill Niche, but he runs the right way. And they do manage to keep their mid laner alive, but oh my lords, that was still super scary there for Passion Yue.
It's still not good, right? The Terrorblade now is gonna have to be thinking about this Doom and his ulti and how you're gonna be able to survive that. So, Yowai, at least he's farming well, but the rest of his team is having such a bad time. I'm expecting this Terrorblade to, even with the Yasha, try and go and push some towers. It is gonna be a necessity for him to join.
Meanwhile, up top, they're just gonna lose their Kunkka yet again. They ran down. And yeah, just every single time they're trying to shop and make some plays happen, they're just getting punished so hard. Niche and Fernand's, even with the 2 of them, they can only run away from Supreme. It just shows how damn scary this Ember Spirit is at this stage in the game. This is absolutely terrifying for the side of Passion Yue right now. I mean, as you're mentioning, at least Yawai is finding farm. He's 2nd in terms of net worth, so he is doing everything he can, even after that death pretty early on in the game. But is that really enough to make them feel too good about this? Who knows? It's up top. Trying to make a play onto Ulnit. They got the X. Good drag back in. Nice ice blast there, making space, but he is dead. Too many people on top of this Dragonite right now.
Good job by Yowai rotating. This is a move that I was expecting. So now the question is, do you use the meta to push the tower, or do you use the meta to farm the stacks? I'd say pushing the tower is better, because if you take that tier 1 down, then your tier 1 will probably not gonna fall in the next at least 10 minutes, basically, which will allow you to farm those ancients safer. So just get it down. But look at MOUZ already going in.
Yeah, they do not want to let this tower fall for free. 3 people smoked up. Norman though is actually still only level 5 on the gyrocopter, so not going to be a cooldown for this fight. Maybe it doesn't matter. They just want to go straight on towards the OI. Don't care about the supports. Taking out that big scary carry is the main thing. The footwork here from Fernand's trying to get himself out, but he knows there's no retreat. He is dead. Question is, do MOUZ find anybody else? And the answer to that is a firm yes. Batyuk will die. Flacco as well. Going to be able to get away force considering using the Doom, but actually Batyuk is still alive. What the hell? Supreme's going to try and chase after him. He's got another sleight of fist in just 1 second. That's all he's going to need. And there it is, another kill. And they find the triple. Oh no, what a disaster here for Passion Yue.
That was your way back into the game. Now you don't have a way back into the game. They tried to push the tower and they just didn't have the power to do it. Being able to recognize that move from MOUZ was very hard because it was so fast coming out from them. And sometimes speed is just something that you lack versus a higher tier team.
Yeah,
I mean, they did what you said. They, was a good idea to try and use the metamorphosis for that tower, but yeah, they just weren't quite expecting MOUZ to just come flying at them and take that fight immediately. And as a result, 2-12 on the scoreline, 4,000 gold lead here for MOUZ. And even looking at Gaben's win probability, he's saying 85% in the favor of MOUZ. And to be honest, that number seems pretty damn accurate to me.
Yeah, the deal. Supreme had too good of a game with an Ember Spirit. And sure, you lost your side lanes, fine. But this Ember having this good of a game is a problem because he's everywhere and can do whatever the hell he wants. And he wants to murder.
Yeah, Flacco just gets absolutely melted.
Wants more?
Fernance, he's trying to wait. He's only just hit level 5 at 11 minutes into this game. And Fernance is going to be a long old time before he ever sees those Mortimer's kisses. This is depressing. I mean, we've all had games like this at our pubs, right? Where it just feels like all you're doing is dying. You can never get your ultimate. And they are absolutely the worst feeling in the world. And I'm sure probably quite a few members of Passion UA are experiencing that here in this second map of the game. Not fun.
Definitely not. Of course, he still hasn't used this Doom. Now he will.
Yeah, there you call it, and there it is. The two-man chains. Even the ice bar connects onto both of them. Flacco, does he burn out? He does.
Yep.
A double kill for Bengen. Oh my lord, this just continues to go sharply downhill here for Passion UA. 6k gold in the hole. Back, plus he did. He steps up. Here's a friend cookie away. Ice bar forward. They're just kind of playing with him right now, but Supreme going to consider jumping forward. Actually, just go straight past the Kunkka. Wants to try and find Fernance. Two-man chains yet again. And you know, the sad thing here, Harry, Fernance did not get any experience from that last death as well, so he's still just so far away from
I think he got 1 creep experience, right? Let's
he?
not. He got 1 creep experience 10 more times like this, and he's going to be having his level 6.
That's true. Yeah, by the time that 10 more times happens, and they'll be like 20,000 gold behind. Oh
yeah,
my lord.
but you know, it is possibly your last game of the tournament, most likely your last game of the tournament. So you're not gonna GG out. You're gonna take the beating like a man, blue scale, and
yeah,
that is admirable.
It is admirable. I mean, it doesn't feel admirable though when you're playing in it. You're like, oh my lord, just get me out of this damn game. It just feels so damn horrible. And Niche trying to find a bit of pressure on Supreme. Gonna turn around here. A lot of damage actually going forward on towards the Ember Spirit. Supreme, ooh, the Scat Blast as well. Puts him down to 100 HP. That was actually pretty damn close to finding a kill there, but even still, Supreme will just be able to get himself out.
I think MOUZ were baiting though, right? They were baiting for an ice path, and I think that was a good call for Passion UA not to commit. Committing for the Ember Spirit could have been even more demoralizing if you get taken out.
Yeah, it would have been a mighty blow to their ego for sure. I find it quite surprising that Niche is actually... He's still doing pretty decently in terms of XP. No one's really fallen behind massively, although I say that and he will be dying here, or will he? Cookie forwards with the onslaught out there. He does survive. There's going to be the X as well. Dragon Supreme back. Batyuk trying to control him up right now, but he's able to dodge it all. Yeah, why he's TP'd in for this one? They want to try and bring down this Ember Spirit. He's got no more usage of the Flame Remnants. Runs in towards the net of Flacco. He's going to try and turn this around. Can he at least get a kill before he dies? He does. Takes Flacco to the grave with him, but that's a 7 kill streak going the way of Fernance.
It's still Fernance, right? So you would have preferred it on a core. The Snapfire getting her level 6 was good enough for her. But this is a start, right? Being able to kill the Ember Spirit, being able to at least stop this onslaught of his is a first step in getting back into this game.
Yeah, the first step of an extremely long road, it feels like, here for Passion UA, and do they have the endurance to make that many steps? That is another question altogether, as they still have probably quite a lot banked on UI getting nice and fat this game, but he's still at 4th farmed core of the game. Well, Olnit maybe in danger, actually. They're going to try and turn this around with Narman coming on through. Good cooldown. Actually, only one missile's going to connect onto Fernance there. Looks a lot better than it actually was. They will still find the kill, but the counterplay comes through. The onslaught, so much damage. Narman's going to try and run away, but the right clicks there, doing so much work. There's also going to be Song of the Siren. Going to try and set up for these kills right now, but Supreme's ready. Soren connects on towards 2. Force is getting low, but he chucks the Doom out on towards the wipe, and then he forces the TP to run away. If the jump on him from Niche will secure the kill, but the question is, do they die as a result? And it looks like they will, as Olnit is doing so much work, looking to get that ultra kill if possible. As to why the Doom has ran out, he's going to try and take this fight, but he's going to be careful, he's going to get controlled, and the rampage is there. Olnit takes them all out, and that is a massive blow to Passion UA.
Yeah, this is that situation where you can't take it any longer. You have to bring in all the heroes, and that is a problem, right? You have to bring all of your heroes. You feel like waiting. You don't know what you're waiting for. You don't know what the plan is, and then you see one of your heroes being caught and your tower being pressured, and you want to go in. That is just straight up a problem. It's just gonna put the, oh, he purges off the onslaught.
Wow, that is pretty damn devastating. Just another free kill going the way of Passion Yue, finding Flacco as well in the jungle. Looking like Fernand's maybe in danger as well. Force actually no way to lock him down, he's fine. Still continuing to fight here in the Radiant jungle though. Bengen actually getting control up, even using the ghost ship here to try and find the Shakira kill, but he's actually able to dodge it. Instead, it's all just a bait. In comes Olnit. They lose UI, and then maybe Batyuk. Can he get himself out of this one? Good, Torrent. Will connect. Supreme though going to carry on chasing forward, but it looks like the Kunkka is away. But even still, you just lost your carry there for a kill onto a Jakiro. It's not worth it at all.
Yep, definitely not. MOUZ is just overwhelming this game. I mean, blue scale, if we want to look at it realistically, the chances of winning this game, Dota Plus is 3%. I guess that's pretty much correct. When you have a 13k gold lead, 18 minutes into the game, the tier 2 will fall, the onslaught will continue, and I don't know what the path back into this game is for Passion UA. I don't see an opportunity for them to force out mistakes on MOUZ, and MOUZ aren't really a kind of team that are going to be making them themselves. They are pretty methodical as a lineup.
Yeah, 100%. Like, they have to make some severe mistakes, MOUZ here, for some way Passion UA to come on back into this one. I mean, maybe if Passion UA had some big ultimate, I could see how they could turn it around, you know, like a Black Hole, like a Ravage, anything like that, but they don't really have anything here to use. As Niche potentially just going to get ran down. Supreme pretty damn slow, but even still he's going to try and go for actually the BKB turnaround with Wallless Kisses. They're doing a lot of work here on towards Supreme, but he's fueled himself, controlled up. Does he survive? He will! He just jumps away, no problem at all. Now the question is, Passion UA, they continue pursuing for more. Lockdown on towards Bengen, he's still able to survive. Manages to get the stun on towards UI. The counterplay coming through, the stuns, the control, the doom. Out comes the song and the siren, but it's way too late to save their carry. And everyone from Passion UA just trying to run, but unfortunately, the chase is real. Flacco caught underneath the tier 2 tower. The MOUZ not fully committing every hero for this one. They're actually just going to let the Naga Siren escape, but who really cares? It's a carry for a position 5.
Yep, that was such a good turnaround from Bengen. You know that you're going to die, and he gets all the spells off. And I don't think MOUZ were even considering getting back into that fight, but they saw the Terrorblade standing inside of the macro power for 3 seconds. That is a good enough reason to just commit onto him, because it's just so much damage, even with the level 1.
Yeah, it's sort of like one of those ultimates where you don't really notice the damage racking up until it's like too late, and then you're like, oh, actually, I'm basically dead. And yeah, just ends up punishing UA super damn hard. Now 14,000 gold behind. Olnit is so far ahead in terms of net worth that he's only really a couple of thousand gold away from doubling UI at this stage, which is absolutely terrifying. He's got Armlet, he's got Mjolnir, yeah, BKB on the courier as well. Just finding a way to kill this guy is next to impossible.
He can 1 versus 5. I think if Passion UA do not kite him, let's say, but they decide to fight this Dragonite, he's gonna 1 versus 5 them. That's how it feels.
Yeah. Unless somehow UI is able to get like a huge Sunder on him, maybe then they can get that kill, but that's not easy at all. Meanwhile, Niche actually was trying to play aggressive there on towards Supreme, but here comes the rest of MOUZ to really punish him for that one. Flacco caught from the Yules. Rocket as well, lands on towards Niche. Forces them connects on the Primal Beast, who's holding on to that BKB as long as possible. Now we'll use it. Wants to turn, very short range charge, control on towards Olnit, but he pops his own BKB now.
Doesn't care.
Right clicks coming on through. They found Niche Supreme as well. Diving inside the Radiant base.
That's a dive back
finds the freebie. The Torrent pulling him back on in. Maybe Batyuk sort of regretting that use of the skill right now with the 70 people on top of him. Long range pokes. Does he tick out to this one? He actually does. Absolutely devastating here for Passion UA. They even bought back onto Niche, but it means a grand total of nothing, as they still just lose nearly everything.
You know how I said it's their last game of the tournament? They're probably gonna die. They're gonna probably fight and take a beating. You know, at some point you gotta say this is enough, because this is too big of a beating. You're buying back 2 heroes, you're all dying, you're not getting a single kill, you're getting dove on your tier 3s 20 minutes into the game, and without any chances of getting any kind of turnaround. This is just not a place that you want to be in. And we talked about the timing of Passion being around the 30-minute mark when the Terrorblade gets his Scotty, right?
Yep.
If you give him a Scotty right now and a Butterfly, I still don't know if it would be enough to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of feel like he needs some help from those other 2 cores. And actually, have you seen the net worth, Harry? Bacon has more than Batyuk and Niche. That's not good. That's really not good.
I just don't find it funny. I find it sad that Passion UA have to endure this for our sakes, for our entertainment. Just kidding. I love it when somebody's getting destroyed. It is still a fun way to look at Dota.
Yeah, it's fun for us. I said definitely not fun for them. Niche, maybe in danger right now. Cookie trying to get him out, but he's so much control. Easy poke from afar. Forces out the BKB. That's the 7-second used. We'll be able to get the onslaught up to the high ground. The Supreme continuing the chase, another Cookie out. They're trying desperately to keep their mid laner alive, but it makes absolutely no difference as they still just lose him. I think it's devastating as well, the fact that they put the Aegis into the hands of Walnut. Like, how the hell are Passion UA supposed to kill this Dragon Knight 2 times?
It is how are they supposed to kill him once? I mean, they did get a connection last time with a couple of their spells. It just wasn't good enough. The Terrorblade did get a tier 2 down, but I think MOUZ at this point, they just don't care. They're just gonna do everything in their power to end this game as fast as possible. They've probably had enough of murdering and killing themselves.
Yeah, you know, there's only so much of that you could do before you're all just considered psychos. So, yeah, they're gonna try and close this one out. Full set of barracks gone. Still the mid-tier 2 standing, so that will slow down their progress a little bit, but with another 20 seconds without the Primal Beast, they don't care. They're just going to carry on pushing. I mean, does the Elder Dragon form running out mean anything to them? Doesn't look like it.
You should be asking them, and I mean, we don't need to ask them. Their behavior is going to be giving us an answer. They're even riding some waves, you know. In a game like this, you even have time to surf.
Yeah, they're just having so much fun right now, I feel. Like, a pretty nice way to win a game in the lower brackets of a tournament. Feels so damn safe, although lots of probes on Forlorn. Actually gets Draken back in, but out comes the Dune on towards Batyuk. That is a dead Kunkka, although they've managed to take down the first life of the Dragon Knight. He has Elder Dragon form in just a few seconds. They can continue this fight. Pulverize trying to lock down this DK, but he's just going to walk it off, no problem. Song of the
and
Siren.
Now he has the form.
Okay, they're going to try and set up, but there really isn't one. Cookie, almost kisses, not going to do too much. It gets countered quickly. Niche charges on in there himself. Then he's going to start sustaining so many losses right now. As the Primal will die. Batyuk as well. That's a dieback coming in from the Kunkka. And they just call it Harry. Finally, Passion UA are done with being spanked like a schoolchild. And that is it.
Your strongest spell in this game was the reflection, right? And it's the most damage it's doing to the Dragon Knight is when you use the reflection and his own illusion that is taking away some of his HP. Just goes to show how impossible this game was. MOUZ, this time around, they just outplayed their opponents. This is kind of what you would expect from a team that has had international lands this year to deal with a newish, for now we're gonna call them a stack from Eastern Europe. But Passion UA in the first game, they have shown that they have what it takes to at least play a solid game versus MOUZ, but this is a level of Dota that is currently still foreign to them.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the whole series in general just was pretty damn rough. I mean, before the series even began, like you're saying, we were all favoring MOUZ. They did make game number 1 for a vast majority of it look quite close, like 20 minutes. It was dead even, but eventually MOUZ just found the chink in their armor and crushed them. But they just had no hope in the second game. Literally none. It was just disaster from minute 0 onwards, and they just had no foothold at all. But like you're saying, hopefully some lessons learned here from this series and from the CCT series number 3 in general they can take into the future for all of their other tournaments. But obviously that means they are now knocked out of this one. No further chances. But hey, MOUZ, they keep themselves alive though.
I mean, being top 6 with the teams that are here, it is a big deal for Passionate. They should be proud of themselves. Next time when they come, if they increase the level of Dota just a tad bit more, they could be making it even deeper into the tournament.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed that is the case for them. But obviously, no further chances here in this one, guys. But there is still a few more series coming up for you guys throughout the day. What is it? Next series is going to be DMS versus Navi Junior. And then it will be One Win Team versus Avulus to wrap up the day. So to be honest, the next 2 series should be action-packed. They should be a hell of a lot of fun. I don't really consider them being easy 2-0s. Should be a little bit of a fight there in both of those ones. So 100% you should stick around to watch them. But there's going to be a bit of a wait before the second series even starts. Like another hour and 15 actually. Quite a long.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. It's because this series ended so fast. MOUZ smacked Passionate even with all the breaks and the long drafts. It doesn't matter. So unfortunately, our viewers are going to have to wait a little bit for the Dota Action Blue scale.
But, you know, we're all quite versed in waiting. I know I'm sure that when there's pauses in other games, chat is the kind of people who would wait. You know, they wouldn't just immediately be spamming F9 to unpause. You know, very respectful, patient players, which is what I expect from the Dota2 community every time. But I don't think that's going to be likely. But even still, guys, we do hope that you have enjoyed this first series of the day for the CCT series number 3. Obviously, we have been your host, Blue Scale and Harry Freak. We hope you've enjoyed the entire show so far. But yeah, come back in about an hour and 15-minute time to see the continuation here of the tournament and see who can push themselves forwards in the CCT. We'll see you soon. We'll keep waving.
Radiant's courier has been killed. is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
across my ceilings.
Scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack.